Hey guys, it's Quickie Baby and I'm bringing you a replay here in the T69. This is a very exciting game and I think it's worthy of a post-game commentary to try and let you guys know what I was thinking when I was thinking it. And literally, right now, I'm thinking I'm playing an assault game. I'm going off on my merry way north thinking, oh, it's an assault game. And do you guys get that as well when you play Encounter on Siegfried Line? Do you think, ah, it must be assault? Well, it's really not. Yeah, the bases sometimes are a little bit confusing. And so I'm thinking, oh, there's going to be people along this ridge. Yeah, they'll be coming from over there. Oh, look, where are they? And then suddenly it dawns on me when I see that VK die. How come he died? What? Oh, gosh. And now I start to go into the position that I should have been in right from the get-go. So what I recommend that you guys do is that you poke basically this mid-ridge. I would have been able to get all of these spots off really early. I would have been able to help my team a lot more than what I've done so far. Let's just get those horrible optics cues off in sniper mode. We managed to pull off a nice kill on the T49 there on the move. And we're using this 4-round T69 autoloader. Bing. Bing. And when the shots fly true like that, it's an absolute beautiful gun for some quick, bursty damage. It has a 4-round 90mm. You've got to think of this a bit like it's sort of like a Pershing gun. But it does fire 4 rounds roughly every 20 to 25 seconds. Now, those rounds don't have the highest alpha damage, 240, which means that you can do 960 damage per clip. So that's always something that you've got to be thinking about in the T69. And right now I'm thinking, holy moly, some people are shooting the crap out of me from that southwest position. At the time I thought it was the Cromwell, but then I saw that the Cromwell just popped. So then I started to think, well, considering the rate of fire that the shells were coming in, and the fact that they've got 2 very slow British tank destroyers, it's incredibly likely. So I'm going for shots here. I take a shot. Was it worth it? No, it wasn't. And there we go. Those are the British tank destroyers that are shooting in me in the side from below. And then if you want to see what most of the chat is like for me in the games these days, I'll just show you. I'll turn my camera off for just a second. And this is basically what most of the in-game chat is like for me. So I had to rewind it. Here we are shooting this VK again. Bit unfortunate. And hello, British tank destroyers who are below me. Quickie, die. Die, Quickie, please. Die, die, die. Quickie, Quickie, Quickie. Oh, World of Tanks, you're so fun. Such a lovely community. I'll remember that 87. I'll remember that 88. People in the chat are like, lol, okay. Thanks for being so nice, guys. Really appreciate it. But yeah, sometimes it can get a bit frustrating to have this incessant trolling. But let's not worry about that now. Let's focus on what the T69 can do in this game. And if I'm honest, I took far too much damage from that VK. I think I had over 1,000, 1,100 health, and then that VK will do 320 average damage to me with his 105mm. And then getting shot in the side by the 87 or the 88 can take off a little bit more of my health. So I've pulled back into this defensive position because I feel like that Tiger 2 / the VK4502A were going to push round that corner. But I was mistaken. They weren't really... Oh, well, I heard actually. I was right. There you go. Perfect opportunity there. So we fired 2 in. Unfortunately, we could only pen 1. Ah, make that 2. Make that 3. I did not think that I did as much damage as I did from back here. That was actually quite an effective little move. I thought that I was coming back here and then I was going to do nothing. But actually, coming back here was the right play. I judged those tier 8 heavies were going to come around the corner and we put the, 3 good shells into the side of that VK in rapid succession. And that's what this autoloader is good for in the T69. You can see that it doesn't take that long to unload. And oh gosh, we only managed to do critical damage to that 88. And now we're just hoping for shots. Unfortunately, we don't get lucky. And the enemies are playing a really strong game in the town. It's going to be hard to take them out. So right now what I'm thinking is that, well, I don't want to lose that western flank. But that STA-1 that's out in the field should be able to handle himself. We've still got some quite strong tanks in the town. There's a Super Pershing there and a T32. I really want the fight in the town to progress a little bit before I can come and provide some fire support. And I feel like hanging at the back here might give me an opportunity to get some fire into the town without being seen. Now the armor in the T69 is pretty good for an autoloader. A lot better than the 5100 as an example. However, against tanks such a Borsig, a Lerva, it's really not going to cut it. So we managed to hit the Borsig there, but we were unable to track him, unfortunately. I come push around the corner. Oh, and that VK just fires a clutch shot off into me, shaving off half of my remaining health. Nice shot by that VK. But we eventually managed to take him down. Maybe I should have shot quicker. But I really didn't think that he was going to fire clutch at me. And even if he did, he didn't aim that at all. And it was pretty unfortunate that it did manage to hit my tank. But now we've been reduced to 285 health. That means that all of the enemy tanks, apart from the Indenpanzer and the 87, will one-hit me. And even the Indenpanzer and the 87 can one-hit me, maybe kind of 1/3 of the time. So that's pretty brutal. So I want to support my team in the town before they all die. And a quick zoom out there sees that, oh gosh, that Indenpanzer is on full health. It's going to be a nightmare to take down. So I don't want to get caught out by myself. I was really worried about that Indenpanzer. I can't let him get the jump on me, but as soon as I saw that he wasn't going for me, and he was actually going for the T28 prototype on the other flank, then I could proceed to advance. So it's all about controlling the engagement in the T69. If you can control the engagement, you're generally going to have a good time. And I was just a little too late to the party there. Too hesitant. And I didn't manage to get any shots off into the side of that Indenpanzer. And right now, I'm thinking, oh god, this isn't looking too good. They got a full health Indenpanzer. They've got a 110 who's on 62%. Thankfully, I managed to get the jump on that Borsig. And I'm looking for where the Tiger 2's aiming, and he's definitely aiming at me. If I'd gone around that corner, I would have most likely been killed. So I decide to reload. And flank on round again. And the Tiger 2, I believe, still thinks that I'm there, so he's not interested in... Oh no, that Indenpanzer spotted me from behind. Just got to keep on running. There's almost no point in really looking behind me. And this is looking like a hairy situation. We've got an 87 Tiger 2 flanking that Super Pershing and a full health Indenpanzer behind me. What are we going to do? So I'm waiting to see which way the Indenpanzer goes. I believe he's going down there, and yes, I was right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we managed to take him down, doing 950 damage in our clip. He's unable to kill us. And the Super Pershing managed to take out the Tiger 2 just before he died. Meaning that now I'm in a 1v2 situation. That was a great result. And what you saw there was perfect timing really for the T69. That Indenpanzer could have given us an absolute ass kicking there. Thankfully for us, we managed to catch him in the perfect position for the T69. And I did get a little lucky that I was at least rolling on average or high. It's only about half the time that you're going to be able to do 950 damage with your clip. And so right now I've reloaded heat ammunition because I've run out of my AP rounds. Now the AP rounds on this tank got 173 penetration, and the heat rounds have got rather respectable 250. So what I'm doing is basically trying to outmaneuver my opponents. I need to get the jump on them. That's the most important thing right now, is to get the jump on the opponents and be able to shoot them multiple times for every time I get shot. I'd like to highlight that at the time I was rather unhappy about the fact that that Indenpanzer managed to get that shot into me, because I really needed that health. Well, I believed at the time that I really needed that health to be able to win this game. That health meant that I could guarantee taking one shot from the 87. Well, not guarantee, but more times out of 10, take the shot from the 87. And here we go, we've managed to get an ambush shot on him. Shot goes high and left.
Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy armor is hit.
We pull back. We reload. And that is perfect. I mean, I would have loved it if my first shot hadn't gone high and left and would have been able to sting him for a bit more of his health. But doing 451 damage for free, those are the kind of engagements that you need. When you've got no health at the end of a game, and you're playing against players who have got most of their health remaining, it's the only way to be able to do it. You have to get ambushes off on the opponents and shoot them when hopefully they're unable to shoot you. So I'm constantly changing my positioning. One of the reasons why you saw me start to fire clutch there in the T69 is because you might have noticed that I don't have 6th Sense in this tank. I haven't played it enough to have 6th Sense because I moved my crew into the T54E1. And oh, I really didn't want to get spotted here, but I blooming well think that I did. Now 6th Sense would be an amazing asset right now. If I'd had 6th Sense, I probably wouldn't have started shooting at that 87 until I had maybe the back of his tank, or at least I would have aimed my first shot a little longer. And if I'd had 6th Sense there, it could have told me whether I got spotted or not, which would have changed the way that I played. But right now I need to be slightly aggressive. So we managed to get one in. We managed to get the second in. And thankfully for us, our turret armor held true. Actually, he shot right, I believe, on the corner there. And oh, we spotted the 110. Pull back, pull back, pull back. So now we're going to change our position again. And we can see there that he's on 948 hit points. Now, one opportunity might have been for me to go there and to shoot through that gap at the 110. What I'm doing here is trying to make my tactics... Well, I'm trying to conceal my tactics to the enemy. So what I did there is I waited at this crossroad before I became stealthy. Well, before he couldn't see me any longer, or, you know, before he didn't know what I was doing. So I waited at the crossroads, so for all intents and purposes, he has no idea whether I went back, whether I went forwards, whether I went down that corridor. But because he's capping, I know exactly what he's doing. So I've still got 1 minute and 42 seconds left on this game. So I've got enough time to play around here. So I'm going to loop all the way around the back. And I know that there's a fantastic opportunity to shoot the guy from the ridge line over here. Especially if he's hugging this central building that you can see. So I come around the corner fairly slowly, although that was a bit of a misplay there. I didn't think about the arches and I could have been seen through the arches. Now I'm going to come through again. There you go, we've got the jump on him. He misses his shot, so I come round again. Oh no! And I feel like he can reload any time, so I don't fire the last shot. But looking back on this replay, it might have been the better play to fire that shot. Now, because he's got 521 health left, that means that I have to shoot him 3 times. I have to penetrate him 3 times with my shots. Oh, that was such a misplay by me there. He could have killed me. But I decide I've only got 30 seconds left in the game. I have to do something. So what I do is I start to side scrape. I side scrape. He manages to shoot my track. Perfect. I'm in. Let's take our shots. Oh my god, my gunner can't aim for crap. So we put 2 in. And oh, sweet gosh. I was trying to pull back to avoid the next shell. And it wasn't exactly what we needed. We got absolutely murdered there, guys. So that happened so quickly. I'm going to just slow the game down a little bit and tell you exactly what I was thinking with my movements there as it was happening. So right now, the plan is, let's side scrape out round the corner. Try and get him to shoot into my tracks. Perfect. We managed it. Now we need to get forwards and put some shots off onto him. We missed the first. We hit the second. And the problem with missing the first shot is that I needed to pen the other 3. So if my first shot had gone in, I wouldn't have hesitated. I would have just kept pinging the shots in. Because we got really unlucky with the first shot, I really needed to pen all the other 3. So we put 1 into him. Then we pull back. And unfortunately for us, he manages to put the shot right into my lower plate. Let's just take a look at what kind of an angle that shot was. So here we have his main gun. Let's just take a quick look. Ah, that was a bit unfortunate. So it looks like he hit right here. Shot over the car, even though the car wouldn't have provided me any protection because it had already been destroyed. So be careful with that. Looks like I made a mistake. I thought, well, I can't see him. Maybe he can't see much of my tank. But this gives you a much better idea of just how much of my tank he could see. So I would have done far better here if I had been either angling my frontal plate a lot more, or if I had been angling actually inwards and side scraping again. I just felt really under pressure, knowing that there was only about 20 seconds left on the clock or so. And then I had to penetrate the last 2 remaining shells. This game would have been extraordinarily easy for me to draw and to try and force him to come at me. But I honestly thought that he would be happy to get a draw, or he was just going to sit in the cap. So what I wanted to do was to put the pressure on the 110 and the 87 and, you know, risk it to win it. Doesn't really matter to me if they're on 60% health and 75% health and I only have 1 shot left in me. You got to go for the win in this situation. It was a little bit of a heartbreak for me, but looking back on the replay, I can see that I did make some mistakes, and I know how I would have done this differently. It's very easy to do that in retrospect. Well played to this 110. He held his nerve, and he managed to take me out of the game effectively. Anyway, let's just take a quick look at the post-game stats. So we managed to get 2,077 experience for that defeat, picking up a high caliber, a top gun, and a defender medal. I was pretty happy with 4,500 damage, and it was also nice to see that the armor on the T69 was holding up quite well with 2,400 potential damage received and 755 blocked purely by the armor of the tank. You guys saw what the accuracy of the T69 is like if you don't have a chance to fully aim at maybe short to medium ranges. Even though I believe I'm using vertical stabilizers and a gun laying drive on this tank, the aim time is still pretty brutal, and I think I could really use gunner skills such as snapshot to just help me have that little bit less aim time. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this replay and it was just a little bit useful with regards to how I like to play the T69 and the kind of positioning you can use when you're outmatched both in numbers and also purely the amount of health that the enemy tanks have. If you've enjoyed this replay, please consider rating it down below. It would really help me out. And let me know what you think about the T69 in the comments below. I have done a full tank review on this T69. It's a lovely little vehicle. And you can check that out as well on my channel if you're interested. Anyway, as always guys, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic and hopefully I'll see you soon.